Welcome back, everyone, and you're listening to the Good News Radio. And as every Saturday, we'll be here till 5 p.m. And right now, we will be moving on to our next segment. And you may be familiar with this segment. We usually call it What the Classroom Didn't Teach. And what we do is we take a quote from our founder, Mr. Kushal Gunasekara's library. It's a library of quotes he has founded, and we discuss the quote. So today, I would like to draw your attention to this book called 100 Life Reflections, What the Classroom Didn't Teach. So, all of these quotes and stories and wisdom that we have been discussing through the segments, which is all plastered around the foundation, now has been formulated and published into this lovely, a little bigger than a pocket-sized dictionary, lovely book, and I have it in my hand, and it looks quite good, and it is filled with pictures, and it's very interactive, and overall a beautiful book that is very easy to read, that is very easy to understand. So the book is called 100 Life Reflections, What the Classroom Didn't Teach, by Mr. Kushal Gunasekara. It features images of rural Sri Lanka from the Village Heartbeat Empowerment Centers by the Foundation of Goodness. So if you do come to the foundation, I do encourage everyone to look at this book and purchase a copy, because all proceeds will ultimately go towards supporting rural education. And it is also available at the head office of the Foundation of Goodness in Colombo. Malalasekara Mahavata in Colombo, close to BMICH. Right. So today we will be discussing really quickly number 14. So this is wisdom or quote number. I will read it as follows. As much as KPIs are needed for work success, gross individual happiness is needed for life success. KPIs are measured to review one's corporate performance, but the real satisfaction comes by one's contribution to the happiness of others, and that leads to our own gross individual happiness. So now I'm sure everyone's familiar with KPIs, Kushal, because this is a corporate buzzword everyone has to deal with. What I see is there's life beyond all these KPIs. Would you like to elaborate?
Yeah, KPIs, and then, like you said, it's like more like a hacked word. Everyone talks about KPIs, but I thought, why don't we come up with another three-letter GIH, gross individual happiness? Because when you are doing KPIs, obviously you have to compete. You have to have stress levels, and make sure that in the corporate life you are assessed by these KPIs. But how do you assess yourself in terms of your personal success? So your personal success will come only with gross individual happiness. The more good things you do, the more happiness you derive, right, or joy you derive. So in life, at the end of your journey, if you are born human and if you end up being human, that means you have this gross individual happiness. So anyway, I wrote this because I'm unlike you, Sashikla or Vishnu, who really studied very well, but I didn't study anything in the classroom. So I decided to write what I didn't learn in the classroom. So, and these are all my experiences of my journey, and I think in the third or fourth page, I'm also saying learning in the classroom to gain knowledge is important and mandatory, but to navigate our life without life lessons, good values, and understanding reality will not lead to happiness. So these quotes will enable you to comprehend the way of life rather than getting entangled in conflicts and worry. So based on that premise, only I decided to write these 100 quotes, and in the 100 quotes, I also have a life reflection pertaining to that quote. So then if the quote is deep, you explain what that really means, like how we took the KPIs and the GIH, so things like that, so there are so many things. For example, I'm also saying mind makeup gives longer lasting happiness than external makeup. So
true.
Yeah.
I don't know how many people will agree with that.
Maybe the more they don't agree, the better it is, because then they need to know. It's like dementia or Alzheimer's, because one of the first signs is that you don't agree that you have dementia or Alzheimer's. So I'm saying that external makeup for appearance will give us a form of a temporary happiness, but it fades away. Okay, so on the other hand, making up one's mind with this ever-changing phenomena of life and understanding it ahead gives us longer lasting happiness to remain undisturbed. That's what it is, so it all depends. I don't know about the quote, you got excited and you kind of neglected it, but once you read the life reflection of that, then you have to understand that the way it is, that everything is subject to change, nothing lasts forever, these are temporary, they fade away with time, so I know, being young as you are, you wouldn't want to make sure that the makeup goes so fast. But, I'm sure with your good heart, it'll be shown in your face. So that's what it was. So I actually, my last thing about this, what the classroom didn't teach, is that learn the lesson that the classroom didn't teach, how to live a life of reality. Acquire inner wealth, leading to gross individual happiness with peace, while also lifting others around you. And the inner peace is the new wealth. That's what it means. The inner peace that you have, more peace you have, that means you are acquiring more wealth, right? And if you have an unblemished kind of character, that is also like wealth, which is hard to beat. So, I thought I'll leave this book for people to read. It's moved pretty well. We printed only 500 copies, and a lot of the people who have visited here have, bought this at 2,500 rupees, which goes back again to the Foundation of Goodness. And, I've been told by a few overseas people that they need 10, 20. Some restaurants have asked me to keep about 20 on there, because a handy book and, hardcover and all of that stuff. So, turning the pages of this 100, they might find a solution that they were looking for.
And it's actually a great book. You said restaurants have asked. Sometimes you're waiting in line to get into a restaurant or some place, or you're waiting in the reception. And if you just leave it there right in front of you, say at a reception, people are just bound to take it and turn a page. And within those few minutes, they might read a few quotes and they might, gather some great knowledge.
Well, there are some who came and took 20. Saying that they would like to give their colleagues in the office, and there are a couple of people like that, who took about 10, 20. And also I'm saying that it can be given as a corporate gift, because at the year end you get a lot of calendars, desktops and whatnot. Yes, calendars are required, but I think a book like this will be like a life-changing, kind of experience. So hopefully, I wrote while I'm, doing all this work with what I have experienced, and my study in terms of a journey of life, and and how in between, because we often when we are born, we get the birth certificate. When we are going, we get the death certificate. In between, you get a lot of degrees, right? But the battle is to stay, cool, calm, nice, without conflicts, and, trying to be a nice person. And that certificate to me is far important in between than anything else.
Beautifully said. So like we spoke about, the book is called 100 Life Reflections, What the Classroom Didn't Teach, and it also features images of rural Sri Lanka from the Village Heartbeat Empowerment Centers of the Foundation of Goodness, and the book is available for purchase at the Foundation of Goodness's Sinigama Center of Excellence, as well as their corporate head office in Malalasekara Mawatha in Colombo. Right, thank you very much, Kushal, for that segment of What the Classroom Didn't Teach. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, we end this segment. Thank you very much for listening in, and thank you very much, Kushal, for sharing the knowledge. The time right now is 4:08 p.m. on Saturday, the 11th of October.
Lovely to see the two of you as well after 2 weeks almost. But in the meantime, I must say, I have come here in between because on the 1st of October, on Elders Day and on Children's Day, we had the new High Commissioner visiting after a month. That was his first trip out of Colombo.
High Commissioner of
Australia. Sorry, High Commissioner of Australia. Yeah. So he was coming out of Colombo for the first time visiting. I think he was going up to Waligama, and then one stop was Sinigam. So he went around and then he was interacting with the elders. We had a major program, and it was nice to see him. We actually had a recording of about 5-7 minutes, probably. We had a recording, and he was really thrilled with the concept and what he saw. He was, sharing his views, and I wished him well because he's just very new. But he was a lovely ambassador, who had lots of PR, and that's what ambassadors are. But he was very extra nice, and he was speaking to class students, and it really worked well. So I'm very pleased that I actually
I can just see the picture. It's such a lovely picture, and I can see that how he's a nice gentleman with the smile and everything.
Yeah, so I think in between, and even the volunteer segment, what happened was we were not there, so we were not able to also take that segment. One thing is, I was also not there on 2 Saturdays, and they were going on Saturdays. So what happened was I took them also the day I came, and like a pre-recorded thing. And there were 2 volunteers from University of Worcester.
I think I met them.
Yeah, they had just graduated, and then there was someone very interesting. She was from Brisbane. She was also going into a college called Charlton Brown, and when she was 19, she said she came and volunteered here with the school.
Yes, I met her, yes.
And then she came back after another 11 years. So she is now a qualified primary teacher, and she really loved her stay for a week. And then came the 2 girls who were from the University of Worcester, and they did also some amazing work, and they really enjoyed, but they were here for a short time, 1 week again. And so we did some recording, and it was really nice. And it's I don't know, I'm just on the run, and it's like a marathon as always. I haven't seen this end, so I hope in the next couple of years I can probably, do you think I can retire?
I don't think so.
Oh my gosh. Please give me a break. But no, serving humanity is the best work of life, so I enjoy it with a lot of passion, and so.
Right, no breaks, but no breaks, but you will have the 5 S's, so you will have enough sufficient energy even without breaks.
I hope you follow them, but looks like you want. I haven't seen you going for a sea swim ever. You've been here for 2.5 years, and
not this. I go to the beach, but I can't take a lot of the sun. But I go to the beach. Yes, and sleep is what I need to improve on. Yes.
Well, at your age, when you go partying.
No, I meant because of work. All right, thank you everyone for listening in, and with that we come to the end of the segment, and the time right now is 4:12 p.m. and over to you, Vishmi.